theory. Now that nebula is what has been refined. It was first postulated by Immanuel Kant and refined by that Laplace. So regarding the nebula or nebular origin of our solar system or our Earth, we have these two specific theories, mainly these two theories. Moving ahead, we have a next theory, that is the wandering star or planetesimal theory. This theory was actually been given by Chamberlin and Moulton, and as per this theory, it has been assumed that planets and our solar system, which are actually being formed, they are formed because of the material which actually pulled out from the sun. And the material which was actually pulled out from the sun, it was because of a one wandering star which actually led to the rips the part of sun as a result of its gravitational pull, exerting the gravitational pull on sun surface. And as a result of that, the gaseous material was actually diffused in space, that further becomes cool, and all the planets which are there nowadays, they are actually the result of the same. So this particular planetesimal theory is not relying on the nebula or the pre-existence of gaseous clouds and so on. This theory is basically based on the sun actually. Sun is the assumption in this theory. Okay, now you may ask that how the sun is there. So I told you in the very beginning that these are theories, and theories are always based on assumption. You have to go with the assumption in order to understand theory. All right, now let's start. So as I told you, this theory actually assumed that there is a sun, there is a pre-existent sun which we used to see even nowadays. There was a pre-existent sun, and this is being termed as a normal star. And with this sun, there was a one massive star which has some sort of greater area than that of sun, especially. So there was a one massive star which was actually passing nearby to sun, having a interstellar flyby near to the sun. So that massive star was actually wandering, and it passes very close to the sun. Let's say this is the normal star, which is our sun, and this one, basically the wandering one, is actually not colliding with the sun, but it is just moving close to the sun. And remember, this star is way more larger than the sun. Okay, and this is being known as wandering star. So as a result of this stellar flyby, this wandering star exerts some sort of gravitational force or gravitational pull on sun surface, and sun is also comprised of some sort of gases. So as a result of this, what happened, like there was some bulge which was actually appeared on the sun surface. It's because of the gravitational pull of this wandering star. This wandering star started to attract some sort of gaseous material which was there on the sun, and because of this, what happened, the tribal bulges were actually appeared on sun surface, and this passing star further, because of the gravitational pulls, it led to the rips apart this gaseous material. So this gaseous material was actually being ripped apart, and this becomes this kind of shape, basically a kind of cigar shape, you can say. So filament or cigar shape was actually being there. So this cigar shape or this filament, it's is there, it is actually the result of this wandering star's gravitational pull exerting on sun surface. So this is what the ejected material we can say, and this ejected material, obviously because of the wandering star's gravitational pull from sun, so sun has ejected that. So this ejected material cools in space. When this cigar shape or this filament is becoming cool in space, this actually led to the formation of planetesimals, or small fragments or small rocky parts in our space. All right. So as a result of these planetesimals, we have what? The gradual formation of planets, which is about to start. Now, fragments, those who have lose their speed as a result of this cigar-shaped gaseous material due to the interaction, or let's say the gravitational interaction of normal sun and wandering sun. Sun was already there, so sun was already there, and this started to spread, diffuse in our space. When it started to diffuse, started to lose its speed, and when it started to lose its speed, it's because of the gravitational pull of sun now. Because of the gravitational pull of sun now, these fragments, solid lumps, they collide with each other and they stick. As they stick, they form planetesimals, and later they form what? Protoplanets, which were actually orbiting, which actually started orbiting around the sun due to the gravitational pull of sun. So here we have a process of accretion. Due to the accretion, we have a large bodies, and ultimately the protoplanets were formed. Many bodies remain free, especially during this kind of diffusion or ejection of material. So the bigger lumps which were there, they were actually being converted into the planets, but we have some small fragments, the small lumps which were there. Now these small lumps later becomes the part of asteroids, comets, meteoroids, for example, which we used to see nowadays. So it is believed that they are the part of the filaments or the cigar-shaped extension of sun due to the wandering sun's gravitational force, as per this theory. Okay, it is because it is based on this particular theory. So after many collision and interaction, orbits settle, and that's how our solar system is actually exists or take into the modern shape which we used to nowadays. This is about C&M planetesimal. Let's conclude. So regarding this particular theory, we have a first assumption, and that is what the sun exists first, then the star came near. When the star came near, it actually pulled out the hot gaseous material from the sun surface. The gas was actually diffused in the space, that ultimately becomes cool, take a shape of rocks or rocky lumps were there. These lumps were cooled, they joined together, planetesimals were formed. When planetesimals were formed, they led to the formation of protoplanets, and protoplanets ultimately led to the formation of modern planets. And here in this particular theory, sun was already exist. That's how emergence of our solar system, or origin of our solar system, as per this Chamberlin and Moulton planetesimal theory or wandering star. Now this theory also owns some sort of limitation, passing star paradox, that how it is possible or how you can justify that the wandering star was actually moving near to the normal star and this much diffusion of gaseous material would have been there. So it is not justified logically. Shaping of gases, filaments or cigar shape, which we have discussed in this particular theory. So okay, some part of that gas was actually become what rocky, or let's say the solid parts. Ultimately resulted into the formation of planets, but the some part which was actually remain left, what happened to that part, there is no clarity that how gases would have been escaped. There is inadequately explanation regarding this. Formation of larger planets is also being not credibly justified by this particular theory, and yes, this theory is silent on the different types of planets, whether we have a terrestrial planets or Jovian planets or inner planets or outer planets and so on. So this theory is basically a different attempts from the Nebular Hypothesis, basically Kant and Laplace. So there was some new addition, and that is what wandering star. Because of the star gravitational pull, the solar system which we used to see nowadays, it is actually the part of sun as per this theory. However, the previous theories of nebular or the gaseous hypothesis, they were actually based that sun and our planets, they are actually the part of nebula. Okay, but yes, equally this theory not adequately or explicitly mention about the existence of sun. That's how limitation.